What is up, you guys? It's Kat. Welcome back. Today we are doing a video that we've literally never done on my channel before for a handful of reasons, which we will get into. This is just like the perfect video to come back with. I know I wasn't gone for that long. Typically I upload every single Monday, but I have not uploaded and I want to, it's been like 2 or 3 weeks. And we're going to talk about why that is, as well as a whole bunch of different like life updates. In a lot of my morning routines in the past, I've said that I would do a more detailed, like my everyday makeup routine and sharing with y'all what I actually wear. And due to one of the things that we'll talk about, I have not actually done my makeup or gotten ready in like 2.5 weeks. So I'm very excited for this. I don't actually have anywhere to go. This is just fun to get ready and obviously sit and share all of the products that I use with y'all. For some reason, doing my makeup while we talk makes it feel so much more casual. I feel like a lot of times when I'm FaceTiming my best friend Larissa, she'll be doing her makeup while we talk, or if I'm FaceTiming my sister Annie, I'll be doing makeup while we're chatting. So it just feels a lot more casual and like personal, I guess. If you don't know, I do work full-time job, full-time remote. So I really don't leave my house that often, but when I do, if I want to put on some makeup or when I'm filming a video, so I typically do this at least once or twice a week, sometimes more, just depends on the week and what I'm doing. So to start off, I'm almost out of this actually because I use this so much. This is the First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. We're gonna do my skin real quick, and then while I'm putting on my CC cream, I'll start to share with y'all why I was gone. But I always like to put this on first. So I have this, and then, oh shoot, I didn't put anything in my hair yet. Okay, we'll put this on and then we'll put my little clips in. But I like this because while it's a moisturizer, so I can put it on right after I rinse off my face before I put on my makeup, but it's also a primer. Also, I used to, for my skincare, a lot of my skincare products, like my tinted moisturizer that I used, my powder, it was all Physicians Formula. I will only purchase cruelty-free beauty products. I've been that way since I was a senior in high school, or right when I graduated high school, I think. And recently, very unfortunately, Physicians Formula no longer a cruelty-free brand. So I did have to switch up a handful of my products. I did decide to do a little bit higher end of a face product. This is the It Cosmetics CC Cream. This is the light medium, and this is the fair light, and we're gonna mix these colors together. If I don't have my tanner on, I will just do the fair light, a little bit of the light medium, and then just kind of plop it on my face. Okay, so let's talk about why I was gone. Okay, so on April 5th of this year, obviously of this year, I tested positive for COVID. And I really wanted to talk about this because, one, of course, I wanted to share with y'all that's the main reason why I've been gone for these past 2 weeks. The first week I took off from work, I pretty much slept throughout that entire week. And then the second week, like I'd say starting Friday, I started to feel a lot more myself, start feeling a lot better. And then by Monday, I was like ready to work again. Like I felt so much better. And I'm so grateful for that. I still don't know where I got it from. Like I said, I feel like I've always been so careful. I live in Connecticut, where even if like anytime I go out, I always wear my mask. You're mandated to, so everybody around me is always wearing masks as well. And again, I really don't leave the house that much. Like I work from home full time. And I always said if we were to get COVID, it would most likely be him giving it to me, because he actually goes into his office every day for work. He did end up testing positive as well, but not until a week after I did. So we kind of assumed that I gave it to him. But the week before I tested positive, I had seen a few of my friends. One of them is fully vaccinated. All of them tested negative afterwards. So no one that I had been in contact with prior to testing positive also tested positive except for Tim, and he didn't test positive until a week later. The weekend that I tested positive was the weekend where I became eligible to get the vaccine. So right now my doctor said I have 3 months natural immunity, and I'm not really sure when I'm eligible. I've heard that I can get it 3 months after having COVID. I've heard I could get it a month after, and I've also heard that I can get it 2 weeks after having COVID. So I have to talk more to my doctor to figure out when I'm eligible and when I should get the vaccine. But also, quick side note, I'm gonna do concealer. This is the Tarte Shape Tape. I'm sure you've heard of this. I feel like every YouTuber talks about this. My friend recommended this to me. I'm gonna be completely honest, I do like it, but when I finish this tube, I will be trying to find a new concealer to try out. While I really like it when I have like my CC cream on, I just find that if I don't have my CC cream on and I just want to put a little bit of concealer on with just my skin and moisturizer, for some reason it just looks too like heavy and kind of like caked on. I don't know. So I'm definitely gonna be looking for a new concealer once I run out of this one, but for now I do like it. It's definitely not bad. The first day that I started feeling sick was Saturday, April 2nd, and both Saturday and Sunday of that week I just felt exhausted. Like I didn't really think that I was sick. I just hadn't been sleeping well. I had a lot going on with just life in general, so I kind of figured that I was just stressed and extra tired. And then on Sunday night was the first night where I really, really felt sick. Like I had chills throughout the night. I had a horrible, horrible headache, unlike any that I've ever had. So then Monday morning when I woke up is when I was like, okay, I really should go get tested just to be safe. Also quickly, this is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh powder that I just put on my face after. But I also want to urge you to just keep in mind that even, no matter how safe you think you're being, there's always a chance you could get it. Now, if you're eligible, get vaccinated. And even if you're not vaccinated and you start to feel sick, don't play it out. Like, I'm so thankful that I actually went and got tested, because if I hadn't had those chills and it was just a headache, I don't think I would have gone as soon as I did, and I may have seen more people. So the second that you start to feel sick, if you do feel sick, even if you think you've been so safe, I urge you to go get tested. Get vaccinated when you can. I'd say that first week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I had pretty much every single symptom. Like if you look up COVID symptoms online, I had pretty much everything except for shortness of breath and throwing up. And even though like it sucked, I'm not gonna lie, I was in bed all day, pretty much slept through the entire week, I am just so thankful that that's all it was. And thankfully, Tim is doing really well. He had more of a cough than I did, but that's getting better day by day. And he also lost his appetite. Like, he didn't lose his taste or smell, which I did, but then it came back, thankfully. But he just really hasn't had an appetite. So those are kind of the main symptoms that he had. But overall, both of us are doing really well, and I'm so thankful for that. Oh, it does feel so good to finally be like getting ready again. What should we do next? We'll do my eyes next. I don't know why this clip is kind of starting to bother my head, so we're gonna switch clips. These ones I got from my FabFitFun box. They're just a little bit more like, pull it back, pull the hair back a little bit more. So the next thing I just briefly wanted to talk about, me and my family had to say goodbye to our dog Ricky, which if you've been on my channel for a while, you have definitely seen him. He's my family's dog. We've had him for 11 years. We got him when I was 14. I shared this collage of photos on Instagram. My Instagram is @itscatherine if you want to check it out. I love all of these photos of him so much. This was him when we first got him when I was 14. Thank you so much to all of y'all who left such sweet comments and sent me such sweet DMs. I really, really appreciate that. It meant so much to me. And some of you sharing your stories of when you lost your pet, it meant a lot. So I wanted to say a huge thank you to that. Ricky was the gentlest, most sweet, kind-hearted, just gentle is the best word I feel like I can use to describe him. We used to have a bunny named Charlie. Charlie passed away a few years ago, but Ricky and Charlie used to always hang out. Like how sweet is that? Like, he was just the sweetest, he like did not have an aggressive bone in his body. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm still kind of in shock. The vet, I don't want to get into too much detail, but the vet recommended that it was time, and that he was very uncomfortable. There was nothing left they could do, so the vet recommended that this was the right time. But the point that I wanted to get across was that I so appreciate all of y'all who left such sweet comments and sent me such sweet DMs. It really meant the world to me, so I love y'all so much. For eyes, this is the Urban Decay Naked Ultimates Basic Palette. I'll be honest, I don't use too many of the colors in this. I typically do these two shades, this one and this one. This is Nudie and Commando. Those are funny names. I never looked at the names before. And I just kind of put them all over my lid. Next thing that I'm really excited to share with y'all, if you remember last year, I posted a video where I took like a 6-week break from YouTube, and I shared a video about how to deal with really hard times. I talked about how there's stuff as where everybody's always going through something, everybody in this world. That's why it's so important to be kind to everybody you come in contact with, even if they're not so kind to you, because you never know what they're going through. I have a video that's like 10 ways I think to deal with really hard times, and one of the things I talked about was getting a therapist. And with COVID and everything going on, I waited a lot longer than I think I should have to do it, but I finally did it. Quick side note, I like to use this Glow Sugar Kit by Anastasia and take some of this sparkly color. Oh, where's the right brush? This one in Butterscotch, and I like to just put this on my lids. I just feel like it makes it so much more fun. But I feel like I have been telling myself that I need to get a therapist, just somebody to talk through. You know, we all, like I said, everybody has stuff going on, and there's some stuff in my family that I think I waited a little too long to get a therapist, but I'm so thankful that I finally did it. And if you were considering it, I would highly highly urge you to do it. Even if there isn't something major in your life that you're like, this is what I need to go to a therapist to talk to, I think anybody and everybody can benefit from seeing a therapist. One of the things that I said to my friends and to Tim about going, I've been going for 6 weeks now, maybe 5 weeks, was throughout the week if I'm feeling stressed or anxious about stuff going on and I just want to talk about it in that moment, and I just feel like I have to talk about it. There were so many times where I feel like that just consumed. Stopped recording for a sec. But now that I have a therapist and I know I go to her every single week, if I'm hanging out with Tim or hanging out with my friends and I start to feel really stressed and overwhelmed, obviously sometimes it's like I do want to talk about it and I talk about it in the moment. But I feel like it helps to kind of relieve that stress and remind myself, like, you have a time coming up in a couple days where you have an entire hour with your therapist to talk about it, work through what you're feeling. And right now is time for myself. Like, this is supposed to be time where I'm enjoying myself. And it helps me stay a lot more present in the moment, whether I'm hanging out with Tim or my friends or my family. And it just, I feel like knowing that I have the therapist to go talk to helps me kind of center myself in that moment. And I end up enjoying my time a lot more, regardless of what I'm doing. I found my therapist on psychologytoday.com, so I'll have them linked in the description. And now I'm quickly going to put on the Better Than Sex Too Faced Better Than Sex Easy Glide Waterproof Liquid Liner. I'm not going to talk while I do it because I will definitely mess it up if I do talk. Oh, okay, the next thing, back in December, if you don't know, I got engaged. I did a Q&A and where I talked about like how Tim proposed and all of that. I'll have that video linked in the description if you want to check it out. And in that video, I talked about how we're really in no major rush for actually getting married. But I do still get questions about like, oh, are you planning? When are you gonna plan? When's the wedding gonna be? So I wanted to talk about it quickly. So essentially like I said, there are a handful of reasons why we're not rushing into getting married. When I think about the costs of weddings and like how much weddings really cost, let me know if you've seen that show Mortgage or Marriage or Mortgage, something like that on Netflix, where people have like a chunk of money and they decide if they want to buy a house or they want to have a wedding. That just blows my mind. And I know everybody has their own reasons. To me, I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel like in the past few years I've gotten so much more money conscious that like the idea of spending so much money for one night just doesn't make sense to me. So I'm gonna be very budget friendly, and I am excited once we do start planning to take y'all along. I'll definitely take y'all along on the process. This mascara is really starting to run out. I think we're gonna open the new one that I have on deck. I always have a backup of these for when I run out. But when Tim and I talk about it, like, we know the most important things to us are having the people, like our closest friends and family there, having good, obviously, food, music, and then drinks. Like, we want to make sure we have an open bar for our wedding. But things like the most beautiful, luxurious venue and having the most luxurious dress and the most beautiful flowers, like that stuff doesn't really matter to me. I don't know, I just feel like spending a ton of money on those things are not, like, that's just not where I want to spend money on. You know, I'd rather have my money in the stock market, which we'll talk about in a little bit too, than spent on one night. Baby, go back on the bed. Baby, come back on the bed. Come here. You wanna go on your bed? She's lying down on her bed, if you could see. And then obviously, to go along with that, since I don't want it to be anything crazy anyways, I definitely wanna plan it myself. I don't feel the need to hire a wedding planner. But right now, I'm gonna be honest, there's just so much going on in my life, and especially with COVID as well. I don't know, I don't feel like I have the time. I feel like it would stress me out way more to start trying to plan a wedding right now than waiting a little bit till things, I don't know. I mean, I know life is always crazy busy. I just feel like we'll know. I just feel like I'll know when the right time to actually start setting dates and booking things and sending out invitations. Like, we'll just kind of know. But right now, it's just exciting to talk about, and we're just enjoying being engaged. I used to always think I would want such a short engagement, but now I'm at the point where I really enjoy it. I feel like we're at such a fun stage of life right now, and I just want to enjoy it. If you're engaged or you're married or you're in a relationship and you're thinking about that, what are your thoughts? I'm curious. I feel like everybody thinks so differently on this type of a topic, and it's really interesting to hear everybody's point of views. So I'd love to know yours. Oh, I never did my face like contour or bronzer or anything like that, so we'll do that next. So this is the Too Faced Chocolate Bronzer. I absolutely love this stuff. And I can finally smell it again. I feel like I got so lucky. Like, this is something I'm so insanely grateful for. Within like the 14 days of having COVID, I lost my sense of taste and smell, and then I got it back. So I'm very thankful. I'm no expert at this. I just kind of rub it I really don't know what I'm doing. And then I just put some on my nose, like that. A little bit on my jawline, I guess, for funsies. And then this is the Beauty Crop Glow Milk. I got this from my FabFitFun box, actually. And this is like a liquid highlighter, so I'll just take a little, oh shoot, that's a lot. Maybe we're gonna take a little bit from this side. Oh, and then move you over there. What was the next thing that I wanted to talk about? Oh, this, okay, kind of to piggyback off of that, I'm so excited. I finally invested in the stock market. I feel like for the longest time, I thought it was just so scary, and the idea of it and putting my money in, and you know, obviously when you put your money in the stock market, it's always a risk. However, I chose to do an index fund with a very low risk investment over the course of, you know, the years. Back to this Anastasia Glow palette, I'm gonna take this color in Marshmallow and use this to kind of set the highlighter. And you can never have too much highlighter in my opinion. You definitely can, but it's okay. The longer that your money is in the stock market, the more it's going to grow. So investing now is going to make you so much more in the future. I will have a YouTuber, actually, forget her name, but she has some really, really great like real estate money and investing in the stock market and like a whole bunch of content. So I'll have a video I watched from hers where she talked about like investing for beginners linked in the description. It's really, really great. I invested in an S&P 500 index fund. So the S&P 500 basically tracks the stock market and tracks the top 500 performing companies. I'm invested in an index fund that follows the S&P 500. Obviously, you're not going to get the same type of rewards as if you were investing in smaller companies that had the potential to just grow like crazy, but there's also a lot less risk. And it's very hands-off. I don't actually have to do anything, but if you invest in the right stocks and index funds over time, it's always going to go up. Even if you only invest $100, it's one, the fact that you're getting started, and so you're kind of getting used to the idea of investing, and two, it's something. So over time, it's going to grow. Oh, by the way, this is the Winky Lux Unibrow Universal Brow Pencil. And I like this because this side is the pencil and then this side has a little brush to kind of brush them out. This is the Naked Urban Decay Flushed Palette, and I really like this because it has a bronzer, a highlighter, and a blush. So if I'm traveling, like if Tim and I go to Vermont or I go on a trip anywhere, I will just take this instead of like my separate highlighter, blush, and bronzer. I don't know why, I just like to use a highlighter from this specific palette to highlight underneath my brow bone. And I saw Shea Whitney talk about this. She likes to put a little bit of highlighter on top of the outer corner to kind of like highlight that bone as well. So, and then obviously the inner quarters, because I didn't do that before. I feel like I had a handful, yeah, like I had some overthinking tips and self-love and confidence types of things that I wanted to talk about, but I think maybe we'll save that for another Chit-Chat Get Ready With Me. I feel like in this video, this was more of like a life update. And where I've been and everything. This was a lot of fun. Let me know if y'all like this. So let me know in the comments if you would want to see more of like a self-love, confidence, mental health type of a Chit-Chat Get Ready With Me. I don't know, this was a lot of fun. Kind of looking at my makeup, trying to think if I forgot anything. The only thing I think we didn't do is lipsticks, or I don't really put lipstick on, but this is the e.l.f. Lip Plumping Gloss in Mocha Twist. So we'll put this on. I realized to stop filming again. The last thing I did want to quickly talk about is my filming schedule. I don't know, even before, sorry, I shouldn't talk while I put this on. I feel like even before I had COVID, I've just, as I'm sure a lot of us, especially with this year, but the past few months, I feel like I really was just not, I don't know, I was not feeling myself. I did not feel like I was in a good routine anymore. I felt like I really kind of slipped out of my routine. I was already planning to film a video on 10 ways that I'm getting my life back together. There are 10 different, actually I think there might be more than 10, it might be more like 11 or 12, but different habits that I'm starting to incorporate into my life to kind of get back on track. One of the things in that video is to kind of take a step back and start rethinking how I'm organizing and structuring my weeks and my days. And I feel like with YouTube, while I absolutely love YouTube, I love filming, I have absolutely no intention of stopping, it did start to feel like more of a job for me, like more of a, you know, I mean, I guess it is kind of a job. It's like a side job because I do make income off of it. But each week it's like, oh, I have to get up a video. What's this week gonna be? And I kind of lost that enjoyment. Not that, I don't know, I feel like that's not entirely true. I didn't lose the enjoyment. It just, I lost some of the enjoyment. Like it became more of a thing to check off on my to-do list than something that I actually enjoyed and like felt really passionate about each week. And I really, really want to get back to that point. I feel like even me just realizing that started to get me more excited, and I've been watching a lot of my old videos recently and kind of just, I don't know. So what I decided is instead of having a set day each week, I want to go back to what I used to do. If I don't put that pressure on myself of like, okay, every Monday I have to get this video up, that's something that's going to help me to get back into the flow of it. And I honestly think I might end up uploading more. I feel like it's really hard to articulate what I'm thinking, but it makes sense in my head. And who knows, I could be on here in a month saying, never mind, I'm back to an uploading schedule. But for right now, it's just every week, whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, one of those days. And it will still be at least one video every single week. I just am not gonna stick to a specific day. You know, that way if Sunday comes and I don't have my video perfect how I want it, I don't feel that pressure, like I have to have it up tomorrow. It's like, no, I can take my time editing, I can finish it up and then upload on Tuesday instead, so that it's the best possible content for y'all as well. So let's take a thumbnail really quick. If y'all watch until this part, comment fresh start, because that's what I want this video to be for myself and for you if you're feeling the same way that I have been. I just want this to mark a fresh start. There are so many new things that I'm going to be incorporating in my life, things I've already started doing, like seeing a therapist, and I'm really excited to get back to the gym and start focusing on my physical health a lot more than I have this past year and a half. So I will have my entire How to Get Your Life Together playlist linked above me, because I feel like there's some really, really great videos in that playlist about getting your life together and feeling less overwhelmed and more in control of your life and just happier in general. I love you all so, so much, and I will see you in my next video.